Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Magic and Miracles, where you learn how to be the magician of your life. My name is Anna, and I've created Magic and Miracles with one purpose only: to help people of all walks of life, all across the globe, to be able to achieve their manifestation, dreams, and goals. True story. All the information from me is below. Right now, I have what's called a Valentine's Day special currently for the coaching fee. Less than a week is left in for this offer. When you buy 2 or 3 months at a time, you get a tremendous discount. You get the first session is free, as well as you get my old rate. So versus 32.50, which is the regular rate, versus the 29.50 per month. All right. So the links are posted on the community board. You have the choice of booking the first session to make sure that you definitely want to embark after having studied my material on this channel and the predecessor channel. The link is below. Or you can simply write me an email, okay? And after booking, you do need to sign the coaching agreement. The link to download the agreement is also in the description below, as well as on the community board. Now, the difference is really sizable. For 2 months, you get 50, I believe it's 5,600 versus 6,800, okay? And for 3 months, it's even bigger of a discount. It's 8,500 versus 10,000. Okay, so the free session is included as well as the discounted rate. All right, so to sign up, you only have a week, even if you cannot begin coaching with me because I can only hold that many people at one time. I would recommend to jump on this offer so that you can lock the price in. Okay, so that's you. If you have any questions, the email is below, but there's other packages on my website. Usually, I recommend the first session in order for us to make sure that we resonate with each other. But I want to kind of loosen this up and see how I didn't used to do this. And I started doing this because I started noticing certain kind of patterns of people who would come into my coaching once in a blue moon. But I'm starting to feel relaxed about, and things are getting better, and it's a better vibe on my channel, etc., etc. I really am optimistic about things, and this is why, if you wanted to just email me and basically say why you would do well in my coaching, I would accept that, with the understanding there are no refunds in my coaching. So you really need to come benevolent. I only accept benevolent people in my coaching. There's no way, two ways about it. And all of the rules need to be followed in my coaching agreement. That's without a question. I am not a dictator by any stretch of the imagination. I will give you a couple of warnings, but after a couple of warnings, if you proceed to violate the rules of the coaching, unfortunately, we will have to part ways. Okay. It's not my preference, but it is what it is. Okay. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. The email is below. So, today's topic of discussion is not witchcraft, it's confidence. Okay. So, what do I mean by that? So, getting your way in anything, whether that's SPs, whether that's money, whether that's a lawsuit, whether that's whatever, it doesn't matter. Now, on this channel, we talk about SPs. Again, my predecessor is linked below. You can find a plethora of work there. I had like 22,000 subscribers. Develop technological reasons. So this is a new channel, so make sure you're subscribed. You'll learn quite a bit on this channel. And it basically means that to the outside world, when you'll understand the principles that I'm about to outline, how I manifest really easily, one could say, because when I first, like, just side note here, first came to YouTube, like during COVID, I was really inspired. Truth be told, I was not going to coach anybody on YouTube. I just simply came to YouTube to encourage people, during the dark times. Hey, Renee. Hello, darling. Big fan of you. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. So nice to have you. So, I was not gonna coach anybody. I wanted to offer encouragement during the dark times. It just happened that people gravitated towards me and asked me to talk about relationships. But it goes for anything, you understand. It goes for basically absolutely anything you want. But the strategy is that without confidence, you're not going anywhere. Okay, just without confidence in what it is that you want to produce and without confidence in yourself. Okay, so the reason that I came to YouTube and I felt strongly and encouraged and continue being encouraged is because I really feel like a lot of people are making it tremendously complicated and offer like a lot of like verbiage, word salad, they call it, without any fucking understanding themselves. It really just does feel like, where reality is, it's so simple, like the methodology behind it and the principles are so simple. You don't like, no suffering is involved. The suffering only occurs, before I begin and dive into the principles, if you don't understand what you need to do. If you know what you need to do and you're on your path and you understand that there is a delay in the 3D, like it is just what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Like 3D is what it is. It's there's gonna be a delay. You're gonna have to work on it. It's like cooking a soup, making a cake. Like if you're okay with this process, and if you're patient and diligent, you will achieve monumental success. I mean, what else can I tell you? Okay. So I will describe the process and then I'll give you some things that will serve you in the process. I think it's obvious. You need to come up with a destination, like the end goal, right? Living in the end, like Neville would say. It's so crucial, yet a lot of people don't come up with it. Like, what do you ultimately want to arrive to? Forget everything that's going on around you. Forget what the 3D suggests you should believe. Forget what your mama told you, which is what we process Mama Drama Panorama in my coaching, which is why I started calling it Mama Drama Panorama. I think it's obvious. Forget everybody. Like right here, right now, if you're going through a tough period of time, just first of all, understand universe brought you here for a reason. It's not a test of your fucking patience. It's a test of your understanding. Are you going to utilize the situation to your fucking benefit? Are you going to transmute it and transcend it and just turn it into the most magnificent situation that without it, without this shed show, some magical shed wouldn't happen. Like this is your perspective on life just going forward. And to outline, like, let's just say I want to get married to this person, or at the very least, I want to go out with them. Okay, so that's the end, and nobody can separate you from your end. Like, mind you, like, again, they could be with somebody else. They could be on the fucking moon. It could be completely improbable and impossible. Okay, the only exclusion I make, if they were really abusive towards you, like really, it's just for your own human mind, it's going to be very difficult. It's not because it's my opinion. First of all, yes, it is my opinion that abusive people just don't belong in your life. I mean, what can I tell you? But it's also very difficult for you. I'm a humanist in my coaching. Like, I'm not gonna, again, make you suffer and try to jam into your mind something that you cannot jam into your mind. You know what I mean? Like you really have to work with it, right? So, but other than that, like it doesn't matter how cold they are towards you. It doesn't nothing, none of it really matters. If you have the end that I have my marriage proposal, let's just go with this example for the rest of the life. I have a marriage proposal and they could be with somebody else right now. Okay. But I don't give a shit. Not because I don't give a shit about the third party. I do. You know, the way that, listen, side note here, you really have to come from benevolence. This will help you so much. Okay. Because it will speed you up. Like, when you are conscientious of other people's feelings, you don't take action in the 3D that would be hurtful or stupid. You make it easy for yourself and for everybody around you. You decide for everybody ahead of time, right? What's going to happen. So let's just say right now you're as peace with somebody else, okay? And whatever, it seems impossible. It seems improbable. Well, up until this moment, I bought into the situation that it was impossible and improbable. But what if I change my mind and I go, you know what? I used to be irritated. This used to frustrate the shit out of me. That it seemed so concrete. It seemed so in stone that it was immovable, an immovable mountain, the third party. But now I'm going to overstep, completely ignore this seeming mountain, and I'm going to allow myself to entertain a whole other reality that has absolutely nothing to do with this. I have permission to do that. Yes, this situation is as it is, but I'm permitted to dream, aren't I? So it's ever so benevolent towards me to turn the situation. If it makes me suffer, then I am permitted to turn it around into my favor, following the benevolent advice of my spiritual squad, angels, what have you, praying to God, lubadubadu. But that I know that this belongs to me, like nobody can take it away from me. And that decision, it needs to come from you. Okay. So from that point forward, you are starting to detach from what it is that you see. It matters not. So understand, if emotionally you're still connected to woe is me, they went with the third party. I really detest the third party. It affects me so much. I can't sleep at night and I really hate and all these fucking pronouncements. Like, understand this right here, this mumbo jumbo, the reaction and all of this, it really sucks your energy, the good energy that could go towards your manifestation. Okay, so that's number one. And your confidence in the process is being shaken because you're involved with this drama. So the natural course of action is to detach yourself from this mama drama panorama. Tell your own fucking story. Hello, how are you? Why are you telling other people's stories? That they act this way, that they chose a third party, like even your SP, who gives a shit? You're the CEO of your life. You're showing up and you're starting to make you're starting to tell your own story. Give the microphone to so and so. Okay. You, my listener and watcher, and big thumbs up, everybody who's watching. So you start saying, yeah, this is how it is, but I want to end up in the reality where, you know what, we're married and I'm not going to touch anything in the 3D. In fact, it's best that you do not. Okay. And you just very patiently play along with everything that goes on in the 3D in a very benevolent manner. But what you are going to have underneath it all, unbeknownst to anybody else around, if you want to shock everybody, okay, with your comeback, is you're going to build the confidence. Now, confidence in what? That you could affect reality without touching it. You don't have to do anything. Especially when it comes to relationships, it's best not to do anything. What's that? You don't want to be with me? That's fine. What's that? You prefer the third party? It's fine, 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 fine. All the things that come out of your mouth and anything that you do has to be coming from the light. And this is actually, I got so carried away in that short, I completely forgot to tell you my practice. So I feel inspired to share it now. I've developed this practice of the visualization of literally like imagining the light. Okay, seeing the light right in the middle, like bright light, like the whitest, brightest light that you could imagine. And this light represents like, what do I want? How do I want to behave? How do I want to show up in the world? What do I want to say? How do I want to stand up for myself? Okay, very important for people pleasers, which is, not a known practice for people pleasers, but very necessary. Trust me, it feels good. Scary at first, but it feels good. Sorry. Um, but you focus on the light. I have to stay within the light with the person who knows that the victory is inevitable. In other words, if I know damn well that this person is mine, am I going to stay in the light with my thoughts and feelings? And therefore, am I bothered by the situation over there with the third party? No, I'm not. I'm going to collect evidence of my past efforts, and I'm going to study it, like, like a very kind of educated wizard that I am. Like, okay, what did I do before this? How did this third party manifest? Just like very methodical, very like we're working in a laboratory. There's no emotional attachment. This is what you want to arrive to. Okay, if you really want to, like, kind of like bring it down to a method, bring it down to a science kind of situation. So, all right, third party, my ass, whatever, been there, done. You want to bring yourself to this feeling of like, whatever, been there, done that. You can stand on your head. It doesn't bother me. Why? Because again, it goes back to confidence. I've decided something completely different. And I know that I'm empowered enough. It's my fucking reality. I'm empowered enough to decide for myself. A lot of you are forgetting this shit. You're too busy because you're too busy, having believed somebody, and it could be a toxic person. Maybe it was a mother, maybe it was a father, who the fuck ever. Okay, maybe it was your past ex. I mean, I surely can speak to that. Listen, if I like believed today everything that my exes told me, I would be nowhere. So maybe you're still under the impression your confidence, in fact, got shaken by all these motherfuckers in the past, but you're still carrying the burden. How much fun is it? So your job occupation is to completely like discard all this shit because it isn't true. You're over here a good person walking around with a beautiful heart, paying dues for somebody else. It's your reality. You need to bring that confidence back. Hey, wait a minute. My suffering brings no benefit to anybody. Okay, much less myself. So the confidence, like notice, even in manifestation, you are going to have confidence. Because if you're doing whatever it is you're doing, even the affirmations that I really don't like, because I don't really feel it's working at all. I feel you owe yourself a deep dive, which is what we do in coaching, to very just gently and meticulously examine, like, why am I not confident in myself? It's going to be a very personal story there, with personal incidents, personal examples. um it's your custom made Rolls Royce. How can you plaster just like copy and paste affirmations and expect results? But whatever your practice, it doesn't matter. Let's not get carried away. If you're doing it, there's a huge difference. If you're doing it with confidence, I call it declaration. Like when you declare, it's like it's implied, okay? Like I'm declaring, I command and declare. It's said with confidence. It's kind of like you giving it no choice. You understand? There's a difference of doing it like you're petitioning, like Neville would say, oh, please, please, please give me, which a lot of you are doing it, sometimes unbeknownst to you. And this is not said as a criticism whatsoever fucking ever. I just want to drive this point home so that you listening to this today, maybe you get clarity on where you are, right? So there's a big difference between I'm petitioning, I'm asking, I'm pleading, I'm begging, maybe I'm desperate, to listen up, everybody, like turn the mic on of the CEO. This is how it's going to go. And you're entitled to making those decisions at the onset of the situation. Whenever the problem begins, whenever the shit show starts unraveling, first of all, understand it's for your education. It's, again, universe is not against you. You're gonna learn something in that situation, so embrace it with open arms, okay? And pay the fuck attention. And so at the very onset of the situation, you as the CEO of your fucking life have the decision making power. How is this situation going to end up? And this could be a 2-year journey, 5-year journey, if it's a business, whatever the fuck. I don't care. Whatever it is that you're working on, is just like you're setting it up in advance. And everything that you do and everything that you feel, listen, nobody's fucking perfect, but do your best, okay? Everything is geared towards, I know exactly where I'm going, I know exactly where I'm getting. Now, again, nobody's fucking perfect. Don't expect perfection out of yourself. Please be gentle with yourself. If you're not perfect one day and you fall off the proverbial wagon, It's okay. Like, just as long as you know where you actually belong. And this is what I, not for nothing, side note here, train people to get familiar with your ideal world. I don't know how else to say it. Holographically, you should be very familiar. You should be able to go there on command, having created it with your emotions, with your visions, with your specificities. You should be able to go there on command to that holographic world, because you're the one who's going to construct it and keep it there. And it's just something, again, people are gonna say it's fucking witchcraft. It ain't witchcraft. It's just called discipline of the mind, knowing how this universe operates and what to do inside your mind. And everybody will be powerless before you. I don't care what matter it is of yours. And again, I teach energy work to support all this. You already doing it. You just need to learn how to do it like a scientist. Okay, so that it's an infallible situation, and it's like, I don't know how to say it, like, even to the last minute it could seem like, no, it's not gonna go your way, but inside your mind, you fused with the knowing. Okay, and that's the third component. So the end, the confidence, doing it with confidence versus not, and fusing with the knowing. It's a thing that happens in my coaching over and over again, where I teach, and we do all sorts of processes. Everything is custom made for each and every single person in my coaching. I never fucking cookie cut. I think it's obscene when coaches do that. It's so disgusting. I'm so sorry. If I'm going to pay money to be coached, I better be coached in a custom made way. I'm just talking as a customer also, something that I definitely did not see 15 years ago when I took my own deep dive. Like, everybody's just sterile, just very kind of basic, like, you know what I mean? You gotta dig deeper. It has to be custom made, all right? But at some point, I'm able to connect with, my client rather is able to connect with that world that they have been constructing with me all throughout, and working through their fears, insecurities, hangups, what have you, where it just like descends on you. And they're like, oh, Anna, I know exactly what you're talking about. When you're saying the knowing of it, it just clicks in. Oh, yes, it's me. Oh, yes, I know. I'm there. I'm there mentally in that reality, like nobody can shake me out of it. I made the connection. Okay. And this, I mean, what can I tell you? You're gonna have to be disciplined. Like, but look at this. What kind of work would you rather do all throughout the day? The self-blame, the self-sabotage, the whatever, the shame, the guilt tripping, and this, that, and the other, versus bettering yourself and being disciplined about it, and then seeing like tremendous benefits come out of it? I don't know. I'd rather the latter. You know what I mean? Cheers. Red Bull today, as you know. I can't drink coffee. Coffee, it's yeah. You know why? I think it makes you go to the bathroom too many times. Anyway, so let's cover some things. So, again, the question is, ask yourself this question, maybe in the morning. How would I act? How would I feel? What would I do today if I knew my victory is inevitable? If I knew for sure this guy is mine, that this guy is in love with me, that this girl is in love with me, that we're gonna get married? Would you fucking relax a second? This is what's necessary for it to come to you. You don't want to be chasing it anymore. You don't want to be pleading and begging and doing all this wild shit. Some of you, and I've encountered you in my coaching, and you're all so fucking lovely, by the way. But you're, again, under the impression of this propaganda on the internet, on YouTube. Not for nothing, again, I know it's ironic, I'm on YouTube also, but this is, again, what encourages me and continues to encourage me, that you have to try harder, even in manifestation. The whole manifestation process is supposed to be effortless, right? So if it's not effortless, the whole conversation is how to make it effortless for you, which brings me to my next point. So beautiful how the universe is so synchronistic, isn't it? Making it easy in your mind. And I really wanted to spend some time on explaining it. Not explaining it so much because you guys get it, everything you get it, but it's a reminder when you're making something very hard in your mind, and most of you make relationships like super fucking taboo hard, this is inaccessible. It feels that way when I talk to people who time after time after time did not have the satisfying experience in relationships. It feels like it's a fucking bloody impossible proposition. And so you, if you want to say it, you put it up on a pedestal. Another way of saying is just you made it hard in your mind. You made it like, yeah, I'd love it, but the way that like you feel when the relationships come up and when you see other happy couples and maybe babies or whatever your hang up is, you feel so shitty inside. And this reverberates again in your 360 bubble, right? So making it easy in your mind and shoehorning yourself somehow, some way, and each person is going to be individual, where you find something that represents that it's actually easy to attract attention, that it's actually easy to be desirable. And you, all of you, I don't care who you are today, you have examples like that in your life where you know, once in the blue moon there during my session I hear, well, of course I can get that. Oh, but how do you know that? Okay, how do you know? Let's just say you do it with money. Oh, of course I can make that, but how do you know that? See, that confidence, it needs to also be over here. And but you already have these things showing up. I mean, listen, I coach again, 99.99% of my clients are the most exquisite, beautiful inside and out, just absolutely talented, marvelous. I'm not even flattering. I'm just totally, in awe of all of you, right? You don't have a fucking problem. The problem is in confidence and in your mind. Like, just, that's what it is. But you already have examples in your life where you got the attention. It was so effortless. It was so seamless. You didn't try hard for it. The minute you start thinking that you need to try hard for it, it becomes hard for you. You've just set up the game. It's hard for me. Why? Because the other 99 assholes, that's how it turned out. Turn the page, will ya? What if it was preparation all up until this moment for you to blossom into the superstar? What if all these 99 assholes didn't work out for a reason? Okay, they were teaching you to become the superstar and grow up here and come out in beast mode with your fucking confidence. If you show up with confidence and you start commanding mentally people like how it's going to turn out and how they're going to be towards me, your confidence rises. But because you came prepared with homework, okay? Homework is not just at the end of the session. It's every day you show up to this table of discussion of life with homework. Okay, so if you didn't come prepared, you didn't make certain decisions, it's not because you're not beautiful enough. It's not because, you need to lose weight, although you're doing it all for you. It's not because of anything. It's because you didn't show up with decisions and you don't believe in those decisions. You think there's somebody, it's for somebody else, but for you, it's very hard. Okay. Hi, Alicia. Alicia Lavendier. Sorry if I'm butchering your last name. I apologize profusely. Lavendier. I like that name. On that note, little sip of my Red Bull. Anyway, thank you, darling. Making it easy in your mind, it's like, but of course, it's common sense. This happens to me all the motherfucking time. But you know what this is? And I know you've heard this so many different ways before. The minute you, like, make a list tonight, today, whenever you're rewatching it, make a list of all the times that you got your way, period. And then make a list when you got your way in romantic relationships. Meaning, I wanted that guy and I got that guy. Doesn't matter if it wasn't Brad Pitt, okay, or the love of your life. But certain things where you were like, you have those examples. I hear them all the time in my coaching sessions. You know what? I said this under my breath and it came true. Or I commended mentally, very lightheartedly, this person and they came over here and whatever, made contact with me, told me, all these things that you already orchestrate. Make a list of those things. and dive into this energy in the morning. Holy shit, bananas, look how powerful I am. I got my way here, 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 here. Oh, but you don't remember all of these examples when you're complaining, right? Well, if you're powerful here, you can be powerful any fucking where. You can be powerful with your SP like 1, 2, 3. Just because you like them so much, you like them extra, and you get nervous, it doesn't mean that the rules are different here. You got to get over yourself kind of situation and be like, they're just as nervous in front of you. Trust me. I know you don't believe it because you don't think, enough of yourself perhaps right now, but they're just as nervous in front of you. If you only fucking knew, maybe they're even more nervous in front of you. Okay, and you don't know. And it again, it matters not what you look like. I know some of the most gorgeous people, traditionally speaking, they're the most nervous, like insecure people on planet Earth. So it doesn't really matter. It's about the confidence. You zoom in on the situation with confidence. Just because they're pretty, just because they're cute, and all of these other wonderful characteristics, I'm sure, doesn't mean that you're any less than. Okay? It really just does not. And so making it easy, turn it around and say, finally, I found somebody on par with me. Bring them down a notch, man. And again, start. It's not just about getting your way, but then introduce your own confidence. Make your own list of here's why I'm the greatest partner on planet fucking Earth. I'm patient. I'm an empath. I'm so loving. I'm so giving. And all of you, again, 99.99% of you are so fucking patient and giving and loving. Do you think this exists everywhere? I'm so fucking serious. I'm not even trying to flatter you. Somebody should tell you this shit. I wish somebody told me this shit. Like, not everybody's so generous, loving, giving, kind. You got to protect yourself a little bit because some people, they take advantage. I mean, I've certainly been taken advantage of in the past, like left, So you are pure gold. Treat yourself as such. So this SP ain't nothing for you kind of situation. Bringing down to earth, making it easy in your mind. Stop making it such a big deal, and it will not be. You're blocking it right now, like saying, this I cannot accept. This is too big for me somehow. But why? What's so wrong with you? Look at all the great, phenomenal things about you. You know why you think this way of yourself? Is because, again, some time ago, you lent your mind to Mama Drama Panorama and you've got all of this junk in your mind. And if you'll come into my coaching, and I'll be ever so honored to have you, I'll pick your mind and we'll discuss these things. And you will see it's so freaking powerful when you realize how many things you believe right now that are complete fucking bullshit. Some toxic person told you some shit. Like, I know for sure that was the case with me 15 years ago when I took my deep dive. My mother is a narcissist. I told you guys all about it. She told me such horrendous things that if I believed it, I would never get out of bed in the morning. Even as a teenager, I had something like a depression there on and off. But she told me such horror, like she told me that I was the reason that my dad left us for another woman. Like, and I'm sure you guys have your own examples like that. Like, if I believed that about myself, again, I would be depressed for life. Like, look how horrible I am. But that's not the truth. And so your confidence comes from, well, wait a minute, let me just examine, like, what am I even working with? What is the makeup of my fucking confidence over here? So if I, after going through all the shit that I subconsciously, not so subconsciously, by the way, because if I set you down and I started asking you what do you really believe about yourself, it would come through. Okay. So when you start examining this shit, it's like, no wonder this person who thinks this low about themselves can't accept the love that they really crave. And you can tell me all day long, I really want this SP back. They ain't coming back if you're not accepting them. It's you who's standing in the way. You energetically right here are not opening up your heart. Okay, you're not opening up your chakra for your own self. It's your own heart that has to be open towards you to give this experience to you. Okay, to accept it and say, This is how you accept it. Ready? It's nothing you can physically do. It's the energetic acceptance of it. Yes, okay, this can happen to me. Just a simple, I don't know. It's not gonna make any sense to my human mind because I've never experienced it before, or maybe it's a rare occasion. But I'm willing to entertain this being the new normal in my life. That I get my way all the time, and magic and miracles happens in my life. And yes, this person is no exception. Okay, and it's gonna feel scary at first blush because you're going into uncharted territory. Like, what do I do there? Just be yourself. Just be yourself. This person already loves you. Like, if you stop projecting your own mama drama panorama on this person and what you think that they might think, they're not thinking that. You're thinking that they're thinking that. If you stop doing that, they would come to you themselves. You understand what you're doing, but you're in this reality where this is your comfort zone. This is your comfort level. Like, again, at least you know what to expect. Like I've said in my past lives, be comfortable with unprecedented. Okay, unprecedented feels weird in your body at first because you're like, whoa, this never happened to me. Like, how do I act? What do I do? Just act normal. Okay, it's normal to get a phone call from this guy or girl. It's normal to get a text from them. Like, can you get used to it? Like, I already feel your energy from here. The root chakra, it's kind of like closed up in some of your cases. Okay, just let it be, let it breathe, let it be magnetic, let your magnetism shine. Okay, and again, going back to the light meditation, like, again, if you want to visualize a bright white light, and on the right and the left you have darkness, but yeah, I guess just to represent all the other distractions, okay, in life, and this bright white light, and just walk into this bright white light and intuitively connect with your body. Where's the blockage? Where's this energy that you need to let go of? And the body is very symbolic, as you probably know. A lot of you, studied hypnosis and Dolores Cannon and all of these things. And for those of you who don't know who Dolores Cannon is, I highly recommend. She's no longer with us, but do research her. She's extraordinary. And so the body absorbs an energy of some kind of a blockage, okay, some kind of an idea. And this is what you're feeling. So letting go of this energy also. I didn't mean to go into this whole energetic discussion, but here we are. Superstar, this anxiety, this angst, this lack of self love at the end of the day, some kind of an idea, energy is residing that's literally talks in your mind. I don't know how else to say it. When you let go of an idea, you let go of a certain energy. And make no mistake, day in and day out, you're swimming in the ocean of energy. It's just how you light up will attract those energies. You understand, from the energetic point of view. So being of the light and daily being aware of your energetic field, and that's also something that I teach in my energy work, is of paramount importance. You can change your world top to bottom by being of a different light. Okay, so just the body will tell your story, but where you feel unease when I'm telling, it could be the root chakra, it could be another chakra. Let it in. How would you feel if this was your true normal? That they're wrapped around your finger. Is it hard to imagine? At first blush, it will be hard, but start to loosen this chakra and start to examine the things, why it feels unfamiliar, why it's like literally like like in the supermarkets when you go, I don't know, somewhere upstate or whatever, where like you can't take the cart with you anymore because there's like a magnetic situation keeping the cart. You know what I'm talking about, in US at least, I don't know overseas. It's like this. It's like the card won't go. Something over there. You need to examine what you're saying to yourself. Why the dysfunction is more comfortable than the something that you want. I mean, that's literally what it is. You're not making it easy for yourself. The other thing is that the vision, right? So let's just take the proposal itself. It has to excite you. Now, it can't excite you if you can't even bring your mind to believe it, right? That this is possible. But again, with practice and with going to that reality, to that holographic universe, and just starting to tap into certain scenes, because it's all about the visual, the imagery, right? Images are really, really powerful, as is music, but imagery can start leaking into your mind from that parallel reality until such time that you catch the feeling of it. The point I'm making is that it really needs to excite you, meaning like, I believe it's possible for me. I believe that this person can drop the third party and choose me because, duh, I'm the better option. I'm just making it short for the sake of the example. And they're starting to have thoughts of proposal right now, and I am so excited. Just the idea alone, like, it would be really fucking exciting if this guy or girl suddenly changed their mind and it was all in my favor and they proposed to me. Like, it doesn't have to be just like off the bat, like proposal, but they started being inclined, let's just say, towards commitment. That's a change, that's a lot of, requests that I hear in my coaching. Or they started talking about children very lighthearted. It's not going to be like just like straight up, Tiffany ring, here we are, superstar. Although if that's the scene that excites you and you buy into the scene, like, it's not hard to imagine a guy on one knee, but do you believe it? But you see, the more you picture this guy on one knee, or whatever, the girl accepting the proposal in the guy's case, it's something happens to you. You start massaging your mind and being like, well, you know what? Maybe it could be true. You know what I mean? Like, you look at it long enough, you start tapping into it long enough, and then and you come out of it like seemingly crazy because they're still with the third party. They're still whatever, whatever. But you now made the energetic and emotional connection. And that, my darling, is all you need. Are you listening? It's all you need, because it's like, how can I say this? Like Alice through the looking glass, like Johnny Depp and that beautiful actress in the movie. It's like you going through the looking glass and you got a taste of what it feels like on the other side, in that reality where you got your way already. And like I'm explaining, at first blush, it could be overwhelming and you could be like, oh my God, really? I can get my way? And this feeling of like, shit, it's so much fun. I can barely contain my joy. I have to like relax, calm down, drink some chamomile tea. I'm talking about this excitement, okay? Because at first blush, it will be like so unfamiliar. You're gonna wanna calm down a little. It's not your regular frequency. But I'm welcoming you to examine, like, that's the world you actually belong in. Like, at first, it will be such high frequency, you won't be able to keep it together. But if you get used to this frequency, that's where you actually belong. This is what I call the golden Buddha timeline and all of these, like the highest version of yourself. So now you've made the emotional connection with that timeline. That's all you need. That's the portal. You just, like, let's just say you put one foot into it and you felt this electricity come over you and you felt the feeling. You felt its realness. You felt what it would be like to literally like have a ring on your finger, be engaged to this guy or be engaged to this girl, and your family around, and you're like on top of the world. Holy shit, I'm getting goosebumps just talking about it. Holy shit, bananas, it finally came true. And so this is the feeling with which you animated. And again, at the moment of this decision, everything around you could be completely fucking opposite. Like I said, they could be with somebody completely different. But believe me, my darling love, the train has departed the station. Because you're the motherfucking train. The train decided to go into a different timeline where, you know what, enough is enough. I want to get my girl. I want to get my guy. Like, how much longer are we going to be residing in this motherfucking timeline? Okay. So the confidence of it is what will set you free for life. You're going to have enough, and you're going to have to start dreaming enough. And by dreaming enough, you're going to have to allow yourself, like, even physically I'm talking, because you are a physical being in this earthly experience, physically allow your body to feel these things. I'm so serious. Some of you are so numb from suffering and pain and disappointment, you can't even begin to feel what it's like to get your way. But I'm telling you, once your body goes there, it is game motherfucking over. Because if you can do it one time, you could do it over and over and over and over again. And let me tell you something. You remember that feeling of getting your way so precisely. Again, you can turn it on just like that, and you will remember it. Not only will you get your SP, but you will use it in other circumstances. Just like I said, maybe legal situation, what have you. I mean, it's not like challenges stop, but in the onset of the situation, you will decide, you know what, this is going to go like that, and it's going to go like this, and it's going to go like that. That down to the precise instructions and specifics, and it will go like that. So long as you go with your feeling and your body and your emotions, reinforcing that timeline, meaning just like I'm in this timeline, I control the universe. If I can put my body in this feeling, in this energy, in this portal, it's game over. What else can I tell you? You can stand on your head 500 million times. It ain't gonna change my vibration. This is when you rule the universe, just like that. And then people will look around and say, how the fuck did you just pull this magic trick out of your ass? This is how, because I'm in control of which timeline I energetically belong to. And this, you have full power. You don't need anybody. You don't need to beg, please. That's for peasants. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, you're royalty. You're like the manifestation. I'm talking to royalty here. I'm talking to people who are extraordinary. I attract such magnificent clients. Again, can't stop talking about it because it's really true. And you inspire me so much. You think I inspire you? You inspire me so much because you do deserve to know all of these. And not only know, but embody this on a daily basis. Okay, I got carried away there. So commanding it with confidence, all the difference in the world. I'm deciding this is so. I have the power, the authority to do it. I haven't been active in my authority. Doesn't mean that I cannot pick it back up. Okay, now it has to be that in the morning, your priority, if you're manifesting a transition like this, okay, from never getting your way to suddenly becoming so powerful, people think it's witchcraft. The number one thing that always helped me, and 15 years ago, right before I did my deep dive, this is what came to me before I came on live. I realized intuitively again, all right, after asking for my sewing machine. And those of you who don't know my story, there's an audio on my channel, Who is Your Coach? So it's long, but whatever. I figured I'd record it for people who would be asking later. I asked for a sewing machine whilst I was still with my drug addict ex-boyfriend. But in the process, I created a morning routine, okay? And it's so imperative to make sure you have a routine that makes you feel good. And you know, in that situation, it was a really crazy dysfunctional relationship. And the only thing that made me feel happy is take a bath in the morning, like bubble bath. Seriously, this is why I'm so adamant about bubble bath. Like, that set my day on track. I was sewing all day. I was happy all day. Something about relaxing in the warm water, you know, or hot water. It was a revolution in my life. What else can I tell you? My frequency went sky high, and I started having, you know, the courage. One of the things that I wrote down in my notes is like, it's not witchcraft, it's confidence and courage, right? So I started having courage of like, no, I'm not doing it like this. I'm not saying yes to this. I'm saying yes to that. When you tap into this godly feeling of feeling good, it's kind of like Wayne Dyer said it in one of his lectures, feeling God is feeling good, okay? So just one O, separation of one O. So when you feel good, you're feeling like God, okay? So whatever sets you up on track of feeling like a God in the morning, whatever your routine, your routine could be, you know what? My favorite thing is to just like, I don't know, I'm speaking for you, to have a cup of tea and sit by the window and watch outside my window. I don't fucking know. Whatever your routine is, and then infuse your practice, whatever you do in the morning, whether that's affirmations or whatever, scripting, visualizing, whatever, then infuse that feeling into your practice, okay? But if you yourself cannot make yourself feel good, first things first, again, could be a tea, could be your favorite shake, could be whatever, could be just your favorite music. It's a wonderful way to wake up to some maybe meditation music and meditate by all means. But some practice, some ritual that sets you at peace. It could be anything at all. Again, like a bubble bath, or I don't know, maybe it's a mandatory walk or a workout, whatever. But that has to be like, you have to do it every single morning. You have to do it, and then go into your scripting. Now, the story that you will create, okay, around the situation that you want to change has to be thought through. It's the end goal, the decision. Cannot be just lighthearted. Again, all the specifics need to be there if you want to receive what you want to receive. That's my profound conviction. Other people may disagree. I like to get exactly what I want. In other words, if you don't decide on it, somebody else might, or the universe might, and it might not be exactly what you want. The reason specifics are so important is because you create an aura for that desire. There's a feeling that's going to come out of it. Okay. There's a certain feeling when you talk about maybe, to your friend or just to yourself, how this guy proposed to you or how this girl said yes. Okay. Is it the Tiffany ring again? Is it that they're, smiling? Is it the roses? What are the circumstances under which the situation came true? In other words, you got your way. What did you get? Okay. How did your life change? If it's money, what did you buy with the money? If it's recognition at work, how did your routine change? Did you get, extra authority at work? Whatever, whatever, whatever. Like, how did the quality of your life change as a result of this manifestation? Okay. And in the morning, embodying this version of yourself that is already engaged, is already married, and living the day to the best of your ability from that stance. In other words, if I know I'm fucking victorious, I'm making every decision from that consciousness. I'm feeling from that consciousness, and I'm thinking from that consciousness. All of my decisions are lined up in one direction. That this story came true verbatim, like literally with specifics, with everything. Okay, I don't try your best. Again, nobody's perfect, but try your best not to react to anything that contradicts your script. Okay, and again, I really just want to stress that I kind of explain it because I really feel it's my duty. The script itself, once you decide on all of the specifics, on all of the details, will have an aura. I don't know how else to explain it. And when and if you'll come into my coaching, I'll explain to you how to do the energy work. And I can only, it's not that I want to be mysterious, it's just quite frankly part of my coaching process, but also it's impossible because, again, I do everything custom in my coaching, and I explain it one-on-one because the person has their own history, their own background, and with that this will help me explain to them how to do it. Okay. So the aura around the script, it will have this energy that after you, it's not just reading the script. You're imagining, but you're not just imagining, you're feeling into this lifestyle. You're feeling into the ease. So let's just say, again, the example being you never got your way in romantic relationships. And now all of a sudden you're writing the script that, you know what? Not only they proposed to you, right? Not only did you get this guy, but now this guy or girl, they're wrapped around your finger. And everything goes according to your plan in this relationship, and they're literally, bending themselves back, whatever, over for your pleasure and catering to you, and they're the most perfect partner. Now, this is a far cry from what it used to be before. So it's going to take you a little bit to familiarize yourself with the energy that once you glance on it, it just feeds back to you the energy that you want to embody, until such time that just one glance is enough for you to get into this state. You understand? Instead of spending endless hours and affirmations and dooba dooba doo, you're doing all the homework beforehand, and once it's showtime, meaning like again it has to click in, and now we're working with knowing, which is what you're working yourself up towards. It's the knowing that clicks in. You're looking at this page and you want to arrive at this destination of, I am this energy. I am now embodying this energy. I don't know any differently. Okay. Every kind of, insecurity, fear, other thoughts have been worked through. I've turned them around. And now I am convinced. My mind is convinced it's in the state of knowing that what I wrote down, it already is. It's not a wishful thinking anymore. It's destiny kind of situation. It's that kind of feeling of this is exactly what's going to happen. Again, everybody can stand on their heads. It's going to happen. This kind of conviction this kind of confidence is what's going to move worlds. And again, people are going to look at you and be like, what the fuck are you doing? And you just did your homework. You showed up prepared. You did all the necessary. Listen, every time you leveling up, every time you conquering a fear or whatever, the next step, you are going to have to do this work that I'm describing to you. You're going to have to level up some more towards the uncharted territory. And that's so much fun, man. Celebrate yourself every step of the way, because once you get there, the rewards, they're so fucking sweet. And you feel not only that you don't need to suffer for it, you don't need to, like, repeat endless affirmations, but that you know the state so well. Like I said, you can go there anytime, and you're not afraid that it's not going to be sustainable. Because a lot of people ask me in coaching, like, how do I know I can keep it? Can you keep the vibration that you've designed yourself, that you've made yourself familiar, and that you know so well that just looking at the page feeds the energy to you? Can you do that? Yes, you can. Then it's sustainable as fuck. For the rest of your life if you wanted this guy. Okay. And again, it's all up to you. So making sure you feel good in the morning. And if momentarily you happen to slip off of the proverbial wagon, listen, just shoehorn yourself. As long as you're making progress, that's all that matters. You don't have to have the whole big picture right now. As long as you make yourself feel good in this very moment, and you can ignore the mama drama panorama, because the theater of the mama drama panorama, parenthesis here, is going to start getting really loud once you really start making progress. In other words, the old fears and all of this mumbo jumbo is going to put up a riot, like any toxic person does who doesn't like to be exposed for what they've done. Okay. And they're really fearful of being replaced. But it's about bloody fucking time for the toxicity to leave and for divinity to rule, right? So be aware of that. So if you slip over from the proverbial wagon, understand it's not a test. It's just, you're going to be in between realities for some time. And it's your job, again, to be diligent enough and day in and day out connect to that holographic universe in which everything and all is going according to plan, and you know exactly the feeling, and you can go there anytime. You're completely unfuckable with. Okay, that confidence is what creates absolute magic and miracles. All right. So I told you about the light meditation. There was something else. This is one of my favorite quotes by Joseph Murphy. I'm sure you guys know who he is. He's so wonderful. Was wonderful, but is wonderful. um, it's paraphrased, okay? But it's something like living in the excitement and anticipation of the best, and the best inevitably comes. I love that. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. My nose started to drip suddenly. Excuse me. I apologize. Okay. Sorry. Now the few last things. We're almost at an hour. Sorry. My nose. Sorry. To just remember this. You're in charge of the narrative. Don't you ever fucking forget it. Okay? One track mind. Nothing else. Only this reality. Okay? It's not a fucking negotiation. Once you make your decision, don't you go back. The universe does not like ambiguity. Be like a butter cutter. I used to have this expression on my predecessor channel. Cutting butter with a hot knife. That's you. Just one reality, laser sharp focus. Okay? So you're commanding. Remember, when you're commanding, you need to command with confidence. And that does not include ambiguity. It's like, I'm doing it and that's it. That's what the universe responds to in the most powerful way. If you're unsure, the universe is unsure. If you're afraid, the universe is afraid, or your SP is afraid. Just get used to you being the most magnificent mirror of everything that's going on. Okay? So you build yourself up, you become a one track mind and really have enough and be completely dedicated towards, like, geared towards that result only and nothing else. Not in a desperate way, but in a decisive way. Like, this is all I see, and I will only direct love at it. I'm gonna work on my frustration. I'm going to work on my fears, insecurities, etc. I'm going to only direct love at it. Really important parenthesis here. Okay, not desperation at all. Okay. Now, when it comes to, again, when you're in between the worlds and the things start showing up maybe that you don't want to look at, it's important to refer to what you've constructed at the drawing board. Okay, insisting on your reality. Something happens in real time and this guy or girl acts diametrically opposed. No, it's not like this, it's like that. We are getting married. They say something to you, reconstruct it, completely revise it, and continue doing so until you're no longer bothered. You're looking for them showing up. Like, let's just say they still tell you something diametrically opposed and you're not bothered at all. This is how you know you're home free. Because when you are still triggered, when you still think that it's up to the other person to pacify you, to give you some kind of a fucking approval or a golden star on your homework, again, you're on the wrong track. You're the one with the decision. So stick to your decision and insist on your reality all throughout the day. Like, I only know this reality. In this reality, things go like this and like this and like this and like this. And even if you feel don't, at that moment, you still, for whatever reason, maybe cannot access this emotion, you're saying, I know this shitstorm of my thoughts, it will pass. It's not permanent. What's permanent is my destination. My destination is solidly real in my body, in my feelings, in my thoughts, because I've made the connection. And even if you haven't yet made the connection, the fact that you've decided on this something already connects you to it. Listen, if your SP or your money or whatever it is you're after right now didn't want to be in your possession, okay, didn't want to be with you, you wouldn't even have this dream, this ambition, this inclination. The fact that you have this feeling towards them means that it's already yours. It's already playing out in the other reality. Just get on your own team and start accepting it more freely rather than arguing for your limitations and arguing. Like, notice throughout the day, like, how much arguing you do against your own wishes. It will really, like, seriously, will help you out spectacularly well. And drop that shit. Just drop arguing and, in fact, insist on your reality. Yes, I'm redesigning my world. I mean, like, when you're remodeling a house, okay, are you going to be there and supervise the construction or whatever, the decorators? Yes, you are. This is what you're doing right now. And you have to be vigilant and you have to continue insisting on the smooth transition, okay, between the two worlds. This is the world we're doing this. Yes, I know this still looks like shit for the moment, but I'm not connected to that timeline anymore. I'm already in the timeline mentally, emotionally, and both physically, because I'm feeling it, okay, in the new timeline. And that thing, listen, some people do it in the evening, but I really recommend the morning, to just plunge into that timeline, plunge into that feeling, to remind yourself who's really in charge, who's really the CEO of your life, who's really got the confidence here and hasn't maybe exercised it, to remind you who you really are and where it is you're going. All right. And that's it. Thank you, everybody, for watching. So, again, I want to remind everybody about the Valentine's special. I recommend 2 to 3 months in my coaching, which is why I created this. Again, the first session is free, and you get my old rate of $29.50 versus the current $32.50. Only 1 week more till the 14th you have it. Even if you cannot start to coach with me right away, I would recommend to still lock this deal in. I think it's brilliant. You have the links on the community board. You can also pay in installments through Klarna or Affirm. You can either book the first session to rendezvous with me. Again, the first session will be, it's already factored in into the price. It's subtracted. It's free. Either book the first session, okay, or write to me an email if you're satisfied just based on my videos. That's fine. Just understand coaching fee is non-refundable, so you have to be really sure. And just write to me an email. I mean, that's usually how people start anyway. Why you would succeed in my coaching and why you chose me as a coach. I very much want to know about that as well. And yeah, and after you book, just sign the coaching agreement. It has to be by hand, okay? Date, sign, print your name, scan it. You can do it with your iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, then look it up. I'm sorry, I don't know. But get it to me via an email, and then let me know when you can start and what days are good for your to commence sessions. All right. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to email me. Thank you all. I love you. Thanks for watching and big thumbs up. Ciao, kakao. Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.